Hello guys.
Hello.
Where's Daddy going today?
New York. Daddy, you go and you be threading me. Pink transformer.
A pink transformer? You're miles away, you're like a flea over there. A flea! So I'm going to New York this morning for a few weeks and we're going to be filming some courses out there for SBL, and I thought it'd be wicked to take you guys with us. On our way guys, Scav,
Yo.
Scott, Ball. Who do you think's bolder? In the comments, let us know, who do you think's bolder? This time we're going, there's 5 of us now, getting accommodation for 5 bedrooms in New York in a house in Brooklyn was actually more complex than I thought. And like I was up for Nick and Gav spooning, but they said they weren't up for it.
Believe it or not, we had a problem with that.
They had a problem with it, so there's going to be nobody spooning on this trip, unfortunately. And the line in wheels and rolling, we're going to do what they can be done. We've got 2 more videographers coming with us. It never focuses, this thing.
It's focused on me.
I know. It's focused on the most important person.
That's right.
Right, Dan. Flight number. What's this? Oh, it's flight number 1 for you, isn't it? So, guys, we're on flight number. Flight number 2. Like, I don't know if I've made it obvious of why we're going to New York, but we're filming a ton of courses out there with some amazing players for you guys. Obviously for the members of Scott Bass Lessons, that we're going to be adding courses in from the material that we're getting over in New York. There's Gav, there's Nick, that's Dan, that there is Alex, there, where is he? There. No, 7-hour flight. What's the most important thing when you go on the flight? What films are you going to watch? There you do. Okay guys, so we finally made it. Like, look, I've got the daddy bags. But this is the place anyway, so the place is really cool. Are you awake? Oh my word. And then this is the like long, very black corridors. Sam's rocking it already. Everybody's basically like videographers except Nick at the end, who's the project manager. And this is the kitchen, so the kitchen's super cool as well. Snow and terrace houses. Anyway guys, so today, just to keep it easy for myself and a little bit easier for you guys too, I thought it'd be cool to discuss the 10 things that pro bass players never do. Shock horror. So let me just sit down and we'll go through it. Okay guys. Oh, so much crap in my... Do you guys just have loads of crap in your pockets all the time? I'm just such a... Let's talk about... Am I even in shot? There we go. By the way, I get a lot of questions about this bass specifically, about whether it's rounds or flats. Like, I thought it was obvious, but just in case it isn't for you guys, these are flat wounds, right? So. You can turn the tone off as well and just get such a sort of like a... Anyway, so let's talk about the 10 things pro bass players or pro musicians as well never do. I'm going to give you some tips that have really helped me along the way, and also not only me but the people I hire as well, because I hire musicians and I work with a lot of musicians and artists as well to do with Scott's Bass Lessons, and some guys are on the money and they're, you know, they care about what they do, and I book them time and time again, and then some guys aren't so on it, and I don't book them again. So it's interesting. This is from the perspective of being hired myself, but also hiring people to do with, you know, like as a musical director, because I've been a musical director a lot and on many different projects, and also booking stuff for Scott's bass lessons as well, okay? The first thing is, if you get given a time to get there for, never ever be late. In fact, to the point where I feel that not showing up a little bit early is late. If you can be 10 minutes too early to something, do it, because for whoever is hiring you, it sets their mind at ease and makes the whole situation just a lot easier. And a lot of the stuff that we'll be talking about in these 10 points of stuff that pro musicians do, a lot of them is about putting the guy or girl who's hiring you, putting their mind at ease, because they've got stress on anyway. They could be dealing with a whole host of situations. They do not want to be looking at their watch thinking, oh, where is whatever your name is. You know, they want to see you there a little early, nice, with a smile on your face, being chilled and ready for the gig. Number 2 is, don't turn up underprepared. Always be prepared. Don't have any excuses. It doesn't, you know, at the end of the day, you can have the best excuse in the world, but you know, it doesn't mean anything. Like, whoever's hiring you, it will be in there that you were underprepared when you turned up, okay? It's happened to me as a hiring musicians. Like, I can remember people that turned up underprepared. I can't remember the reason why. I'm sure they had one, but all I can remember is that they were underprepared for the gig, and that's what sticks with the musical director or the band leader or whoever is hiring you. So never turn up underprepared. Number 3 is, a pro musician never turns up complacent and under enthusiastic. They're always enthusiastic when they get on the gig, because they are considerate of the rest of the band around them. And if somebody is like unenthusiastic and just a bit sort of like down, and we're going to talk about this a lot as we go forward in these points, it kind of spreads in the rest of the band. Everybody's there to do a job and to do it right and put their best in. So it really, really helps if you can be enthusiastic about the gig that you're on, even if it might not be your cup of tea. Number 4, this is a biggie. Pro musicians do not noodle in between songs, okay? Just drives me crazy when I see people doing this, okay? You could see an awesome band play, do you? And like in the break between 2 songs, one of them sort of like tinkering away on the drums or the bass or the guitar. It's not acceptable. Do not do it. Number 5. Okay, let's talk about rehearsals, okay? Because pro players do not turn up to rehearsals to practice. There's a difference between practice and rehearsals, right? When you turn up to a rehearsal for a pro gig, you want 95% of the work done, and then that 5% is just tying it up and making it feel right. And if you've got any questions about the layout of the song, that takes place then. You do not get to the rehearsal and start practice. You do not get to the rehearsal and think to yourself, I've not worked out this riff, or I don't know what the riff is, now I'm going to try and work it out. That is not acceptable in, you know, in the sort of like in the pro music industry. When you turn up to a rehearsal, 95% of the work is done, and you're just there to tighten it up and put the polish, that finishing polish, on your lines or whatever you need to do the job well, and be remembered by whoever is hiring you that you'd put in the work beforehand, that 95% of work beforehand, and you turned up with your shit together. Number 6 is a really important one for me, and something I really respect in other musicians. Number 6 is that a really fantastic pro musician rarely brings bad vibes to a situation, even when things might be going wrong, right? Because things go wrong on a gig. Things sometimes don't go as planned, and in those scenarios, okay, one of 2 things happen, okay? You look at it with a light heart and you understand that everybody's having a hard time, and sometimes it can't be helped, and you have a positive outlook about the situation. Or the other way of handling it is just with drama and negativity, and that never ever helps. It never helps, And as somebody hiring somebody, like that is a serious, you know, sort of like against somebody's name. Whatever goes down, I want people to be positive on the gig. Whatever goes down. Number 7 is pretty simple. It is pro musicians generally don't have crappy gear. Okay, their basses aren't crackling, their jack plugs aren't falling to bits, you know, their amps aren't going to blow up. They're not, you know, they're just, all of their gear is solid. I'm not saying it's squeaky clean, like I've got like basses with chunks out of them, but they are very reliable. I've always got spare sets of strings, I've always got a tuner, because I don't know whether I'm going to be able to tune by ear, you know, all of this stuff, right? Pro musicians need good gear. You can't turn up and have something break down and then have an excuse of why it broke down. Oh, it's been acting up over the last few. I don't want to hear about it. Neither does any other band leader, right? We want pro musicians to turn up with good gear. So again, to lower that stress factor of the musical director, the band leader, whoever's booked you, because they've got enough going on, they don't need to deal with people's gear breaking down. In fact, I actually saw a bass player sent off stage once because his amp was breaking down. Number 8 is a great one. Pro musicians don't ever say they don't know any tunes. They always have a repertoire. They'll always know some songs to get them by with whatever situation they're in. And it's just, especially like rhythm section guys, guitar, keys, drums, bass, we need to have a repertoire just to get by as a pro musician, right? So you need to be memorizing songs within multiple genres, because it's just a really fantastic skill to have in your toolkit, and band leaders will really love you for it as well. So if it's any kind of like funk classics like Chameleon, the Jacksons, Stevie Wonder, Girl from Ipanema, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Number 9 is that pro musicians are never encased within one style of music, okay? They're always really great at multiple styles of music. And I mean like a pro musician as somebody that is a freelancer and working out there, you know, doing gigs, corporate gigs, tours, music, whatever it is, they're doing a multiple styles of music, right? Let's take the ultimate freelancer, right? Pino Palladino, yeah, he plays with D'Angelo, you know, sort of like new soul, R&B. He plays with The Who, which is rock. He plays with 9 Inch Nails, which is rock, but very different from, you know, The Who. He also plays with John Mayer. He plays with just like a multitude of people. And why? Because he's just like, he understands sort of like a multitude of styles. He would be, I was talking to Sean Hurley the other day, who also plays with John Mayer. He was telling me how he's just done the Latin Grammys, and he was like playing Latin, you know, like you get it, right? You can't pigeonhole yourself within one genre of music. You need to be able to do multiple genres of music, because ultimately it's going to make you more employable, and that is the name of the game when you are wanting to be a pro musician. And number 10 is not only important for bass players, but it's important for all musicians, and it is that a really great pro musician plays appropriately for the gig that they are on, and understands that certain gigs need a different approach to other gigs, right? So one of the questions I get in the Scott's Bass Lessons membership all the time is kind of to do with this appropriateness. Is like, how much can you stretch out? How much do I need to stick to the original bass line? And my answer is always the same. It depends on the gig. If you are in a theatre gig, if you're in a pit in the theatre, well then you need to stick to the page. You need to, you know, read the notation and nail that to the wall, right? That's what you need to do in that situation. If you're on a pop gig, Again, it's going to be pretty strict. You're going to need to play the parts. Now, ultimately, as well, if you end up on an improvisational gig or a jam session that's sort of like a bit more loose, or you've got to get really, really great at understanding who wants what and how you can fit into that framework. All right. Now, there's a whole lot more to this. What pro bass players don't do and what they do and best practices and stuff like that. So if you do want to know more of that kind of stuff, let me know if you'd like more videos like this in the comments. And also, as I said earlier, please let me know what your like one tip is or one pro players don't do thing is in the comments, okay? So let me know in the comments what you think pro players shouldn't do to be considered like a real pro player. Also, before I leave you, I want to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That would be amazing. I'd really appreciate it. And that means you're going to get notified, especially if you hit the notifications, little icon down there. You'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Then if you like the videos here on YouTube, go check out scottsbasslessons.com, because what we do here on YouTube is really the tip of the iceberg. scottsbasslessons.com is the ultimate online bass school. We've got one of the best bass faculties in the world. We've got the largest online bass focused educational video library in the world. We do live stream seminars each and every week with some of the most insane bass educators on the planet. It really is the full 9 yards, and it'd be amazing if you go check it out, because we built this for guys and girls like you who want to take your bass playing to the next level but might not be in the right situation to go to like real music school. You know, it might not be in the realms of your reality to be able to do that. Maybe you've got a full-time job, maybe you've got kids, whatever. We've made this really affordable, and it'd be great if you go check that out, because I think we've done something really special with Scott's Bass Lessons. 2018 is going to take it to the next level, so it's going to be a fun ride and be wicked for you guys to come with me. Now, without further ado, I'm going to unpack all my stuff here again, because I was here a few weeks ago, but never mind, that's a long story. I'm going to unpack all my stuff, and I'll see you next week in the shed. Whoa, where are you going? If you haven't subscribed to the Scott's Bass Lessons channel yet here on YouTube, click the link, subscribe. I release 2 videos like this every single week. You can also check out our other videos over there, and if you've not checked out scottsbasslessons.com membership, check it out. You can grab your 14-day free trial over there.